The AC40 is a 40-foot foiling monohull. Every team has one because as part of our entry into the America's Cup, we had to purchase one for America's Cup World Series events, and then also the knock-on initiative of the Youth and Women's America's Cup.
All the departments have shifted over into 40 mode for a little while here to study it, understand what the dynamics are, and we kind of know what the difficult points of getting the big boat around the racetrack are, and this boat allows us to kind of get through those sticky points and learn deeper into some of the kind of more core problems.
The AC40 is going to be a great boat for us for learning, for developing. Even though we've only sailed for a week, we can already see how good the boat is.
It's amazing how Team New Zealand have essentially designed a boat that's so simple and effective. The autopilot system works unbelievably. It makes it very simple to sail.
It's been pretty wild. Like, we went out the first day, left the dock, did the tow testing that's required to just check the systems and everything. We hoisted some sails, checked the geometry of the sails. We cut the tow and sheeted in, and 3 minutes later we were foiling, and the first maneuver was a foiling tack.
It's just been such a joy. Like, imagine driving around a go-kart on a track that you can just envision on your own, and there's no bumpers, there's no real track lines or anything. You're just making it up as you go and can throw an attack or drive wherever you want. And the boat's extremely responsive.
The AC40 with 4 people on board is 2 helmsmen and 2 trimmers. The windward helmsman is steering the boat. The only real control that they need to do besides steering the boat is putting the board down and pulling the board up. The leeward helmsman is sort of like the flight controller. It's an autopilot on flight control in the AC40, but there's still a lot of settings involved in getting the boat to foil properly.
The automation of the flight control, it allows us to really push the boat quite hard, especially trying various complex maneuvers.
If you put the bow down and you want to go fast upwind, you can go really fast, but you're also not going to be going as high as the boat next to you. So finding that mode and picking the right mode at the right time is going to be crucial. It's an easy boat to sail, but I think it's going to take a long time for us to get all the settings right and figure out exactly how to sail this boat to its full potential.
We chose to start out at a full-scale model with Patriot and the AC75, and that puts pressure on the entire operation. The next 12 months for us are going to put a different type of pressure on the operation, but keeps everybody's senses and fully engaged into a race mode mentality.
The AC75 is a different animal. It's big, powerful, and you get things wrong, it bites you pretty hard.
I hate using this analogy for a boat that's so big and fast and complex, but the AC75 feels like a bit of a bus. And that's not saying in a bad way, it's a very fast bus. It builds up speed, it takes slower, but once it gets going, it gets on a real rumble, and it's a very fast boat. Obviously, it's probably the fastest boat in the world. On our first day sailing, we were doing very complex maneuvers in the AC40, and on the AC75, there's a lot more coordination and timing that goes into that.
All of the changes that we make on board the yacht, affect the platform almost in a faster way, in a more instantaneous way, and so you pay for them quicker. I think that's all really good learning from the sailor's end, and from the design end, they can extrapolate how the 40-footer will relate to the bigger boat using the same data.
Communicating is going to be a massive part of it, especially when racing is involved, because the boat's completely split down the middle, port side and starboard side, and you have no vision across to the other side of the boat.
We've really enjoyed getting the first boat out there, but when we get to get 2 boats either in a testing configuration where we're testing foils against each other, or we move into a racing scenario where we put the identical foils in and we go head-to-head on a racetrack. And then also we get to use the AC40 on the World Series events, really going head-to-head as a sailing team and seeing how our sailing skills match up against the other teams.
It's going to be exciting to see when the guys get into racing these things in one design mode at a house, because I think one of the knock-ons of our AC36 learnings and kind of the mentality of continual improvement was we want to make sure that when we hear that first starting gun on race day that we're ready to go. I'm quite confident though the race in-house is going to be really good.